What happens when you get into debt?
Well, I'll do what I want. I will punch you clean through that window.
And you can't
You think you can tear my family apart?
or won't pay it back.
I can't pay you. I can't pay you.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits,
You bad up! Get over here! Or somebody's gonna get hurt.
dealing with desperate debtors
Did I have 3,000?
in dramatic situations.
I don't want you. Calm down.
We meet the people who are losing their homes
I haven't been sleeping or anything because I've been worried about all of this.
and their possessions.
That's fine, because I just list everything and we'll take it.
Because whatever happens, if you can't pay,
Get your hands off of me.
they'll take it away. A recent report from a leading landlords association shows that housing benefit tenants are being increasingly turned away from the private rental sector. These tenants are viewed as a bigger risk because of the widening gap between market rents and the housing benefit councils are prepared to pay. Paul Bohill and Ben Pinner are High Court enforcement agents. They travel all over the southeast of England, recovering debts and repossessing homes. Today they're in North London to carry out an eviction.
We're going to North 9, which is Edmonton Green.
It's just slightly down market area, this, isn't it?
Funny enough, this is where Dad used to have a house.
That's what I mean, down market area.
The tenants, a mother and daughter, owe over £6,000 in unpaid rent.
We want Garrett Drive, flat 5.
Notice of eviction has been sent by the county court, but the landlord escalated the case to the High Court, and the tenants must leave today.
Guessing they might be the landlord and the locksmith.
But this eviction isn't going to be straightforward.
Good morning. Paul Bohill. Hello, Harry.
Do you have keys? We have keys, yeah. You're not communicating with us at all, refusing to speak to us, haven't turned up to any of the court cases. So standard, really.
It's useful to be able to throw that back when they say, well, we don't know why we're moving. If you give us a few minutes,
Yeah,
we'd like to get the bloodshed and the shouting under control.
I'm not sure if they're home, I haven't been inside, to be honest. But
It's even better if they're not.
Okay, I'll leave it to you. Good luck.
Thank you very much, son.
Next one. Oh, there's a pram outside.
Oh, dear. Which one was it? 5 or 6? When I knock on the door, I'm only thinking of the possibilities of what might occur, so I'm just going through the risk assessment. People are increasingly aggressive, but my attitude on the doorstep is perfectly calm, collected, and just running through the scenarios that might follow. Somebody in there, could you hear the door creaking? Could you open the door, please? We're from the court. We know you're in there.
I'd like to think I'm talking to myself, but I get this distinct impression that there is someone there.
With no one answering, Ben decides to use the keys he's being given by the landlord's agent.
Chances.
But there's a problem. It appears the locks have been changed.
Do you want to open the door? Otherwise, I'll have to open it.
We will break in if you don't open the door. Just get the locksmith.
As Paul heads downstairs, Ben tries again to get somebody to answer the door.
Just so you know, you have 1 hour to leave the property, so you're currently 12 minutes into that. So if you want to keep wasting it, that's your decision. But this isn't going to change, and we're not going to go anywhere.
Minutes later, The landlord's agent brings the locksmith upstairs.
So we checked it about 2 weeks ago and the keys were working, so I'm surprised the keys are not working today.
Top one's not working.
Yeah, they must have changed it.
The landlord's agent decides to call the tenant to see if he can get a response.
I'm calling from HomeLink, landlord's office, regarding your property. We're here with the enforcement officer. Are you home? Can you open the door? She's hung up.
We'll just go for it then.
Yeah.
Locksmith will have to earn his money.
But as the locksmith starts to force the lock, the agents are in for a surprise.
Special method.
The new locks are high security and can't be forced with a standard drill.
When they're not answering and they obviously come to the mindset that we'll just go away, that's really not the case. We're going to be coming through that door, whether you like it or not, one way or the other.
Paul and Ben now have no option but to break down the door.
Keep the door clear. Clear the hallway.
Permission to carry on?
Yeah.
Hello? I'm not impressed, madam. That really wasn't necessary, was it?
What are you doing?
We are High Court enforcement.
Okay, so move out
One
of the
talk to
way.
us. This isn't going to solve anything. And you're running out of time rapidly, madam. We're amicable people. We're not here to cause problems. We understand you don't want us here. But at the end of the day, we have a job to do, and we're trying to help you to help yourself get to the council.
Don't shut the door.
What do you want? Get out of the room. I don't want you in
Calm
here.
down.
Mom!
This is not going to make a scrap of difference.
Madam, I must inform you that any obstruction of us in this execution of this writ will result in your arrest by police. Do you understand? I'm simply doing my job, madam.
The agents might be inside, but can they get the tenants out before tempers escalate? But can they get the tenants out before tempers escalate? High Court enforcement agents Paul Bohill and Ben Pinner were in North London to carry out an eviction.
Do you want to open the door?
Somebody in there. Can you hear the door creaking?
The tenants refused to answer the door.
Can you open the door? She's hung up.
The locks had been changed,
Special method.
leaving Paul and Ben no alternative but to force entry.
Hello?
What are you doing?
We are High Court enforcement.
Okay, so move out
One
of the
talk to
way.
us.
Mom!
Now, the agents need to make the tenants understand that they must leave today.
You've got 45 minutes to get your personal effects together and to leave the flat.
The younger tenant won't speak to the agents, so Ben tries to reason with her mother.
We are amicable people.
I don't care. What do you want?
We are here from the court to evict you.
Okay.
You have 40 minutes to clear your item.
Okay, that's very unnecessary.
In only one case out of 100 is the tenant going to be packed and ready to go. The rest of the tenants will still have their head in the bucket of sand, waiting for the knock with the actual eviction notice.
The younger tenant has a baby and is entitled to emergency accommodation from the council. Ben wants her to understand what she needs to do next.
Obviously, you were aware of the county court judgment and that you were evicted, that you was asked to leave the premises. Because you failed to do so, we have been instructed to attend today. I don't expect you to clear this whole flat right here, right now. You need to pack a bag with the essentials, medications, identification, clothing, and anything to last you for the next few days. You then take the writ which I've given you to the council. They will, I hope, provide you with emergency accommodation. Okay? If you need me, I'll be out here. My name is Ben.
Where there are children involved, it is a lot worse because they're vulnerable. It is hard hitting at times. We just hope that they'll get the necessary help from the council.
The agents have been in the property for over an hour. The tenants have finally begun to pack. But as Paul and Ben start an inventory of the flat, they're in for a shock.
It's empty, isn't it?
It's like hoarder's paradise.
Open the door as well. It's not hoarding though, is it? Everything's just overdone. The state of the place, it's absolutely cluttered to the roof. If the landlord were to clear it out, it would take a three-man team, best part of the day, to clear that out.
Ben wants to know how the family have got into such a serious situation.
You're not working at the moment.
There's a lot going on. So yesterday we just had our lights cut off. You know.
Lights cut off by who? Like the electricity board?
Yeah. Well, I pay my half of the rent, and that's how much they say they can pay the full.
So it is a shortfall in the benefits.
Very shortfall.
It appears that when the family moved in 2 years ago, the tenant's housing benefit covered any shortfall in the rent. But after her benefits were capped 6 months ago, she fell into arrears.
That's why you've struggled to pay the rent.
I don't understand how people are surviving.
I acknowledge the fact that because there's a benefits cap, this might be an ongoing situation. One thing that's not occurred in this case, which is a common denominator in most of these cases, is that they won't communicate with the agent or the landlord. So the agent and the landlord have tried repeatedly to phone them, but they've just been cut off. So if they'd communicated, things could have been done.
Nearly an hour and a half after the agents arrived at the property, the tenants are ready to leave.
Do you want me to give you a hand?
Thanks. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you. Just put it on the floor.
Sure. We gotta go.
The family are now homeless.
If we would have known, we would have at least prepared for it.
We feel bad.
Not prepared for it, but would have known. Like you guys have to do a job just like I would have to do a job.
What you do need to do is speak to social services because you have a child, they're obliged to rehouse you.
It will be up to the council to give them a bed for the night.
But all in all, it went fairly smoothly.
A little bit of argy-bargy, as it were, but it was the only way to get in.
But the door barge could have been avoided if they just communicated. But they went from not talking to us at all to having a full-on conversation. So, you know, we get there in the end.
Over 40,000 county court judgments were issued against businesses in England and Wales during the first 6 months of 2016. Their average value now exceeds £3,500, and it's small businesses who have been hardest hit. High Court enforcement agents Del Anglin and Brian O'Shaughnessy are in North London, with a writ to recover nearly £7,000 owed by a garage to a dissatisfied customer.
The next job there is from Stoke Newington, after some £6,698.79. I think they're garages, MOTs and repairs and stuff.
When the garage failed to pay, the claimant escalated the case to the High Court. If the garage can't or won't pay today, the agents have the right to seize goods to offset the debt.
There's people coming out.
How you doing?
Oh, my days! Good guy, angry guy. What's happening, eh?
Trying to get through here. Is it all dead end down there, is it?
Dead end, bruv.
Okay, cool.
What side do you want? What number? Looking for?
How many people working there? Is it different people?
Yeah, because we've had like letters coming through for other people and they're not here.
What other people?
That depends on what you're enforcing against.
The writ is in the name of a company, so the agents need to find out who's in charge.
Are you the boss man?
No.
Is he here?
No.
Who's the governor? Who's the boss? He died of cancer a very long time ago. So,
You've been trading under the name then?
So it's a new companies.
Yeah, but you've been using the name though, innit?
Maybe still on some of the letterheads or whatever, but it's changed now.
The man, who says his name is Gary, claimed that a new company have taken over, and his uncle now runs the business. But the agents need proof.
So I need to see some paperwork to that effect. Can you get some paperwork organised? Can I get paperwork? Yeah.
If you have a company that is not trading, you then issue an invoice from that company. As far as I'm concerned, you owe the money. They need to show that that debt does not belong to that company.
Gary gets his uncle on the phone.
Hello? Yeah, you got these, you know them county court judges, guys? Yeah, they're here. They want to enforce the writ. Yeah, the other guy's gone inside the garage. That ain't what's his name, sister, is it? Is that her, yeah?
It seems that Gary has an idea what the debt is about.
She brought her car in, it was broken down, and it was leaking oil all over the road, this, that, the other. She gave one price of the engine, the turbo, and then she couldn't afford it, she's working, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't understand how it's gone this far, and the car's still right there.
Which one is it?
Car's right there on the ramp, bruv.
It appears the claimant's vehicle is still somewhere on the premises. Dell puts the pressure on.
We're here to collect money, bruv.
You're here to collect money, but her car's still there.
Would you want to keep the car and give me $7 grand?
Keep the car, you get crazy, bruv.
That's what I'd ask him. I'm not there to be involved in the dispute. I'm there on the command of the High Court writ of control. Whether that's fair or not fair is for somebody else to make that decision. We've come there to remove goods or to collect money.
With payment looking unlikely, the agent's only option could be to seize the car and return it to the claimant. But there's a problem.
Where's the pistons? Where's the pistons?
Well, they're certainly not in the car.
The car's engine has been completely removed. It's now clear to the agents why the amount on the writ is so high.
Well, what she's done is she's gone for the full value of the vehicle also, that's why so much.
She wants the full value of the vehicle. It'd been better for her to buy a new car than try to fix that. My uncle has dealt with other customers and whatnot. They're not happy with certain things. Even though if a customer asks for a certain job and you give it to them, they're not happy with it. What can you do?
Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes, bro.
Gary claims that the car came in on a recovery vehicle. The engine was removed to find out what was wrong, and the claimant was told it was beyond repair. But the claimant maintains that the garage took the engine out unnecessarily and wrote off her car.
The piston's all burnt off. Pistons are all there. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why she put it through a county court judgment and her car's still there.
Why didn't you let her take the car then?
She hasn't even come back since the last time she came.
So the engine's got to go back in it, though.
The engine's there, bro.
Yeah, it's got to go back. It's got to go back.
You can go back in, but it doesn't make sense putting it back in because you talk to any mechanic and say, boy,
well,
you might leave the engine out and tow it away with no engine.
Yeah, well.
Gary claims the damaged engine wasn't put back in, as the car needed an entirely new one.
The engine's still here. Look, that's all the engine broken down in pieces. So parts of the engine is underneath here, and pistons is in there somewhere.
Once you bought the car, though, it had an engine in it, innit?
The engine's still there, bro. Told her this, but then she'd have to take it to another garage to get the car done. Oh, I don't want to get a truck again and take it to somewhere, and you understand? That was the whole argument. Yo, I don't know. She was full value of the car. Well, funny. She's funny. She's funny. She's funny. We didn't damage her car. Car was damaged. So I don't know how she was full value of a car that's damaged already.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it.
No, but she wants her car. He's not saying she can't have the car. It's not as if he's been using the car for his own enjoyment.
There's a clear dispute regarding works being carried out on the vehicle. Her vehicle's there, she wants to collect it. She probably doesn't want it. She wants the value of the car back. She's got a £7,000 writ. She wants paying. There's nothing to take there or to take control of. There's no assets there. So we can't pretty much do anything else but try and resolve it over the phone or advise the claimant appropriately.
With no assets to seize and no offer of payment, Brian and Dell have no choice but to walk away empty-handed.
The vehicle's here. The engine's in pieces. What can you say? I mean, it's I've never had something like this. We are given no information about what the debt's about when we go there. There's no real way, if he has no assets, to make this debtor pay. And that's always frustrating.
The agents have one last word for Gary.
You're a big man. So, what you're going to have to do, the High Court writ is live. You're going to have to get it sorted out. Otherwise, you got no business, have you?
It's not up to me, it's up to Uncle and my cousin and whatnot, because obviously they're running what business they're running from here.
You know, I'm just talking it straight.
Yeah, she's having a laugh.
Del and Brian may be leaving empty-handed this time. But in Paul and Steve's next case, they meet a grandmother who refuses to listen.
Can you explain to her there's no good her shouting at me? I don't understand her.
I just knew the holiday was going to be next level, innit, man?
And then, bam, I'm going to jail. Is this really happening?
They're trying to set me up.
I just felt so helpless.
At one stage, I thought actually I was going to die.
Young, Dumb and Banged Up in the Sun. Stream now on My 5.
More than 3 million people across the UK are living in rented properties without the landlord's permission. 3/4 of these have been in the property for more than 6 months. Recent research shows that only 1 in 5 requests by tenants to sublet are permitted by their landlord. High Court enforcement agents Paul Bohill and Steve Pinner are in West London to carry out another eviction.
It's a writ of possession.
The Hungarian tenant has rented the property for 3 years, but stopped paying rent 6 months ago. He's now £9,000 in arrears.
What's the name of the road in case I pass it?
Empire Road.
And it's this one.
Notice of eviction was sent by the county court, but the tenant ignored it. Now the case has been escalated to the High Court, and he must leave today.
What number are we looking for?
5 and 656.
OK, we're here. Let's go. Oh.
The landlord's son, Mr. Hirani, and his uncle are waiting outside.
Morning.
You here for us, are you?
Yes, Mr. That's the key I've got from the agent.
Okay.
The one with the yellow tag.
All right.
OK, if you just sit in the car for a few minutes, just till we get the first 10, 15 minutes out of the way. Thanks very much.
See if it's open first. That's one key, which gets us in that one. You can now do your fancy knock on that door.
OK.
There you go. Someone in?
Hello, sir. My name is Paul Bohill. I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
Sorry?
We have a repossession order for this property.
Sorry.
Is that your name there?
No.
Oh, is that person here?
No, it's not here.
Despite the man's claim that he isn't the tenant named on the High Court writ, Paul and Steve are instructed to evict anyone living in the house.
You have 1 hour to get personal effects together and then arrange with the landlord to come back and clear the rest out. We have to change the locks now.
All right, okay, just not today and tomorrow, because then one...
No, it's got to be now, within the hour, by 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock?
It seems there's more than just the one tenant named on the writ living in the house.
Betegek vagyunk. Figyeljen ide, betegek vagyunk, nem mehetünk utcára. No.
Give me for one more day and we leave in the house. It's today before we leave it. We're gonna be outside. It's not fair. One day we need it. One day we need it. After we can go out.
The house should have been vacated 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks?
Ago.
Yeah, okay.
But you're still here today.
Are you joking with us? We're gonna be outside. 2 days we need.
I'm not joking with you.
My grandmother is very, very sick.
I'm sorry, I have no choice. We get a whole list of excuses from tenants as to why they can't or shouldn't be evicted. A lot of excuses revolves around their health status, which I'm sure is genuine, so I'm not belittling that situation.
Despite the grandmother's illness, the agents are duty-bound to enforce the writ and evict the whole family today. Steve needs them to understand that they must seek help from the council.
This is the situation. You have till 9 o'clock to get personal effects, your passport, any medication, closed for a few days. So what you would need to do, you understand me, sir? Thank you. Can you explain it to everybody else?
Nem öltözök semmit, nem megyek sehova se. Nem megyek sehova se, addig se. Itt fogok lenni. Menjenek el, majd holnap elmegyünk. Tomorrow. Nem megyünk sehova se.
You need to be doing something. The sooner you get... Can you explain to her, there's no good her shouting at me, I don't understand her.
Tomorrow megyünk.
Tomorrow, no. Today. 1 hour.
Mondjad nekik, menjenek el, holnap jöjjenek.
De nem mennek, anyu, hogy miért vagy étetek, én nem fogok senkivel vitatkozni.
Én beteg vagyok, ott akkor menni kell, hova menjünk megvitatkozni?
Itt van, pakold ebbe a hol.
Make it happen to you.
With the family not cooperating, Steve reminds them why the eviction is happening.
One question. Who's paying the rent?
Mondjad, hogy menjenek el, tomorrow.
Nobody is paying the rent for 6 months. £9,000 not paid.
You know, it's not me.
It seems that the tenant named on the writ has unlawfully sublet the house.
They could well be paying the tenant.
Yes, quite easily, yeah.
It's just a rip-off.
We find on properties that we go to that the person who originally rented the property has sublet to other people. They're paying them, but he is not paying the landlord.
So far we've seen 4, there's probably 6 people here, there's probably more. There's 1 downstairs room here, 1 out the back, probably 3 bedrooms, and it's fully occupied. The rent on this property is $1,500 a month, but the landlord has received no rent for 6 months.
You know, this is Hungarian landlord. Everybody in this is Hungarian people in the same problem. No good. No good, man.
Another member of the family arrives back home.
Oh my God. Why?
Yeah, my mom is here.
Good morning, okay?
Hova menjünk?
Nem tudom.
Oh.
Most máma ki kell költözni.
No, because it's landlord, not coming landlord. No, mondod, hogy nem.
Landlord is, you know, lie.
Yes.
Lie.
But your landlord isn't the man that owns the house. The man that you're paying obviously isn't paying the owner. Whatever money you've paid, he has taken.
Hova teszem azt a lettert?
The woman has a letter from the court about the eviction.
Yeah, because it's not, because no marriage.
But you shouldn't be here. They've already lost lots of money. They don't want to lose any more. So they go to the High Court and then they issue a writ for us to come.
Most el kell menni akkor?
Yeah, anya, már el kell menni.
Már összeszedtél?
Már mindenki összeszedte, te szedjél össze valamikbe. Nagy apának is. Just help my mother.
The family finally seem to have accepted the reality of the situation.
They knew they had to go. It does upset you. Unfortunately, it's a job and we have to step back from that. I don't think there's an easy way to get through it. You just have to try and be as sympathetic towards them as you can and make things as easy as possible for them.
It's been an hour and a half since the agents arrived, and the eviction is complete. After months of trying to get the family out, the owners finally have their house back.
We didn't expect so many people living in one house. The last 6 months, it's been very stressful. We try to evict these people out. And obviously, they've played the game all the way.
It's just the same story. People paying the wrong people. Bottom line is this, the landlord is £11,000-ish out of pocket. And I don't think that's fair.
I agree with you.
It will be up to the council to try and find them emergency accommodation for the night. Recent government figures reveal that homelessness has grown in the UK by more than a third in the last 5 years and has nearly doubled in London. The figures are rising twice as fast among ethnic minority communities, with 20,000 families evicted last year. High Court enforcement agents Del Anglin and Brian O'Shaughnessy are in North London, with a writ to recover nearly £12,000 in unpaid rent.
All right, Brian, what do we have?
And we're here for the sum of £11,992.19.
It's a load of money.
Yeah.
The debtor signed as guarantor on a tenancy agreement for her sister, but her sister didn't pay her rent for a whole year. And now the landlord has pursued the debtor through the courts for the money.
It must be in these flats here.
Pocket.
If the debtor can't or won't pay, then the agents can take away personal possessions to offset the debt.
First one, mate. They look like they're gonna have 11 grand here.
Hello. I'm here with the High Court writ. My name's Brian.
What's this about?
I can't discuss it with you.
I'm sure you can on that side, so...
It's not in your name. Not really, it's formalities.
Just stick to formalities, it's the same way.
Maybe your mum can enlighten us. Will I get a telephone number and give her a call?
Yes.
No problem, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. What does mum do? Does she work?
Yeah.
Where does she work? She's social worker, yeah? Okay.
Sorry, the mobile you're calling isn't available at the moment.
While Brian tries to contact the defendant again, Del enters the flat to talk to her son.
My eyes aren't brilliant in this light. Have you got a light? Something showing? It's always important for an enforcement agent to get inside a property. Then you can see with your own eyes how they're living, what they've got, what they haven't got, so you can deduce how much they can pay. Who else lives in the house?
My mum, brother, and sisters.
Are they older than you?
No, just my brother's older than me.
He know anything about it?
No, he's less active than me.
He's less active than you?
Barely, yeah.
You say mum's a care worker?
Yeah, something like that. It helps old people and shit.
It would help if we can speak to mum.
I can't contact her. Can you not come back an hour or two?
What time does she normally finish then?
She's normally here about 2.
We're going to take a look about at the moment.
With the debtor at work, the agents look around the flat for any assets they could seize. But it becomes immediately clear that the family own nothing of any value.
Everybody on public transport here? No one's got a car on us? On bus, yeah? Okay. Is the telly old? 5 years? There is nothing that's going to remotely cover anywhere near what we're looking to collect today. It really is a case of leaving a letter and coming to some sort of future payment arrangement according to our financial circumstances, because there's nothing there to remove.
But then the defendant arrives home early.
Hello.
Hello.
Mum's here. We're High Court enforcement agents.
What happened? The reason for our visit today, your sister was renting, okay? And there was 12 months rent outstanding.
The debtor's sister, the tenant who built up the £12,000 in rent arrears, also arrives.
Is this her?
Your sister, hello.
Okay.
My sister, she said, you know, they need a reference. So
So that's I give my name. I'm not saying I'm paying for her rent.
Well, I think...
Then I say I have reference. I live this address. She's my sister.
Well, you signed paperwork as a guarantor, not reference.
How come? I didn't write anything.
If you didn't sign as a guarantor, the landlord would not have given her the property. Do you know what a guarantor is? It means that your sister should have made payments on her rent. You've guaranteed that you would pay the money in the event that she can't. So between you, then, you need to find £11,000.
Goodness.
11,992, that's a lot of money.
I know.
The debtor's sister is a refugee from Somalia. After a family tragedy, she fled to England with her 3 young children. She was evicted when she fell behind with her rent.
What the landlord's chosen to do, he's chased you here because you were the guarantor.
The debtor's son explains the situation to his mother.
No, council can be I know. But where we can bring that money? So we can't pay that money, so what we can do then?
At the end of the day, I have to look at their ability to pay and what they can afford to pay that's sustainable over a period of time, without it causing too much of an impact on their family.
It's clear to the agents that the family has a limited income, but they must try to recover as much of the debt as possible.
If your mum's got savings or something, she might be able to put some of those savings to reducing this debt and we can reach an arrangement.
I don't expect you to have £12,000. I don't expect you to have it. Yeah? But you need to pay a significant amount towards it.
Can you find £3,000 today?
Wow. I've got 3,000.
Well, the bill is just under 12.
Take it what you want.
Okay.
Because I didn't have 3,000.
It seems that the family can't even raise the reduced amount that the agents have asked for. But as they're duty-bound to get the case resolved, will the debtor be able to save her family's few possessions?
I love meeting people, talking to people, finding out about their stories and bringing those stories to life.
High Court enforcement agents Del Anglin and Brian O'Shaughnessy were in North London to collect nearly £12,000 in unpaid rent.
Between you, you need to find £11,000.
11,992, that's a lot of money.
The debtor acted as a guarantor for her sister, but when she defaulted on her rent, the landlord pursued the debtor through the courts for the money.
But where we can bring that money? We can do that.
Can you find £3,000 today?
Wow. I have got 3,000, baby.
Well,
get what you wanted.
Okay.
I didn't get it.
Now, with the risk of losing everything, the debtor's son tries to reason with his mother.
Oh, okay.
No.
لعبت وطبعاً يدوركم لعبت السنة تنقر إيوة لعبتك السنة لعبت يسوى داس واي صدحكم كاش أنا جيب أولي صدحكم كاش أنت كتيرنا داس وحلا يسوى ما صدحكم هلا يريري داس وحلا قاتل وحقادي كرتين إيجانا تجا because we didn't have 3,000.
It's clear the family can't raise £3,000. So now the agents need to assess whether they'll be able to recover any of the £12,000 at all.
If we're going to try and help resolve the issue, let's start with what comes into the house, how much we're talking about.
Tankara, how can I get that money? I work part-time and my sister is income supporting. Where we get that money?
So your sister's on income support?
Income support, yeah. She
living here?
She live with, she's homeless even. Where we bring it up?
when her debtors telling me the truth. You know, having given the right degree of empathy and listened to them, I can feed back to the claimant and say, this is their situation. They haven't got a pot to in. However, they can pay something as opposed to nothing.
The agents have been in the flat for nearly 40 minutes. With emotions running high, they decide to offer the family a lifeline.
So I don't want you guys to starve. Do you understand me?
I mean, I'm happy to set a monthly arrangement. £1,000 a month.
You can do £1,000 a month.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah. We're going to set an arrangement, yeah?
But the debtor disagrees with her son that the family can afford the repayments.
We can't pay. Count what I get now and count what my sister gets, because my sister is his income supported. We pay £500. Better than 1,000 because she stay for 1,000 is heavy.
هادو عمر شقينا يا بريد لعك قدرتنا بيش يكون سيد فضول الله الكرام
هاي مش قيس
ما تبلاو ما تبلاو
You get salary هاي no so يقديه هي
أفكن كوادر
so please
أفكن
أيوب يقدر هذا أيوب هذا كم يقديه هذا أرنت عليه سو أفكر أنت ربع هذا كلام كان إن صوت أفكارين واحد معها إن إيشك.
The family are in crisis. Brian decides to intervene.
What I don't want to do is you to be upset any further. £500 a month, I'm happy. And we want to set something that's sustainable for you, and you said you can do that. It's not unreasonable.
Brian calls the office to see whether the claimant will accept the family's offer of £500 a month.
Hello. They've worked out all the finances, the incomes and outgoings, 500 is fine. Yeah, can you phone the client and tell him 500 a month, starting 30 days from today? All right, bye.
That's the same.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's hard how to get no job.
That's why you wanted to pay the lower amount, right? But you got the whole family here. You can get together and resolve this, yeah? Your son's here, and even though he's not working, he still wants to help.
He'll get a job soon, don't worry. We're managing it now.
Definitely.
You don't have to walk looking behind your back now, you know?
Thank you very much.
Hello?
The office calls back with a response from the claimant.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, lovely boy. Okay, we got the 500 for you. Absolutely.
Now, if you win the lottery in the meantime, please remember that.
Win the lottery, we're leaving the country.
Not before settling with me, I helped you out.
Mum, what I've done here, okay, what's called a control goods agreement. Basically, what this is an agreement between you and I that we don't take any of your stuff and you pay 500 quid a month. That's basically it, okay? What it does allow us to do is if you don't stick to that agreement, we can come back and regain entry into your premises with you. But I don't think I have that problem with you guys. You're going to pay it, you're going to keep in contact with me, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you, brother.
It'll work out, yeah?
Thank you.
Mum.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck, yeah?
Okay.
Any problems, give us a call.
Thank you.
Okay, Mum. Bye-bye.
But the debt is just the latest in a long line of family hardships.
500 is hard for me and hard for my sister, but we can do it. We can do it. 500. We know. We do what can. We life is hard, you know. My sister, she get married. They killing, you know, people. So Somalia now they killing. So when they kill her, she have pregnant and she have 2 children, but still she's my small sister. So it's difficult life.
That was the best result there.
It's the only result, really.
I think she's a good person. She's trying to support her family and they're struggling.